Wild cards got a build. I assume this is a unique build. I don't know if it's something you copied. I don't know if it's something you made up or whatever. But this is in the Panda Analysis channel, and it's typically something a little bit more homemade. But we'll see. I might recognize it because the title is just Roach and Demuta. Do you have any description for it? No, you didn't end up posting anything about it. Okay, so I'm going in blind. Other one was versus Robbie. Oh, whoa, you're playing versus all the root players. What the fuck? Okay. Okay. Let's give it a go. Let's see what this is like. You made this build? Cool. Yeah, I try. Well, that's actually perfect then, because I try to do builds people make just because I feel like there's a little bit. I try to toe the line. I try to like promote creativity. Making your own builds and stuff is cool, but I also want to help people make stuff that's cohesive, because some people will make a crazy build with no purpose. So we'll see if we can tie you in. Or we might learn stuff ourselves. We got a burrow coming in. This kind of reminds me of an old HOTS build so far. Kind of wondering though, what's the burrow so early for? Oh, this game's weird. I think we might have to look at the other game. This game's a little weird. So I imagine you're not floating much larva because you just did the one queen. Yeah. Okay. Then you're going layer off of this, and we're just making this go as much as possible. Only 3 roaches. I'm actually kind of surprised. Okay. Feeling good about this, I'd say overall. And then comes the Demuta. I guess I should have expected when this is called Roach and Demuta. That's cute. We're a little bit worried about timing attacks. This is definitely not what you want to do versus 2-1-1, for example, right? For sure. Hellions, we probably are okay-ish, but like Starport seems like a worry, like Banshees is definitely a worry. I mean, it looks like we're just gonna go Ling Bling Muta. We're gonna act like this Roach Warren doesn't even exist. I understand the feeling of acting like my Roach Warren didn't exist. I remember when I was Diamond League and I played a tournament, I actually made a Roach Warren and I was so put off by it that I killed the Roach Warren and then promptly died to Blue Flame Hellion Run By. And then, yeah, I learned not to kill my own buildings after that. Well, let's see how this goes. Okay, well, yeah, he just does not know. This is cats, right? Poor cats. We got Ling Bling, we're ready. Oh no. Oh man, why you gotta do it to him? That's actually that's just rude. Dang, Cats took it on the chin though. He's actually, that's about the best response you can get from that comment. And now we're just going Ling Bling. And we're the game is just won. Huh, okay. Ooh, we got the Bane. Okay. Oh, don't do it to him. Man, you, Jesus Christ. You really did just send me your most highlighted clip ever. That's why we picked this replay. I see now. Okay. Alright. I see. Time to ban. Dude, Cats definitely fucking banned him. If he knew. Yeah, his name's Wildcard. Yeah, he definitely checked the chat and see us off. There's a wildcard in his chat. Other replay, same build but went way different. I imagine because Cats played like 3 racks. Was it versus Hellion Opener? I wouldn't mind looking at that if it was Hellion Opener. Sam's versus Rob though. He doesn't play Terra normally, so I don't know how'd that go. It was versus Hellion Opener? Okay, maybe I'll look at that. We'll just zoom right through it. Man, Rob starting off with a good look at fun. He's not this manner to me. Uh-oh, dog probes. That's not good. Not part of the build order. Alright, I'm curious how this looks versus Hellions. I imagine it gets some Hellion sniped. But, yeah, I don't know how far it would go. I feel like if Terran is careful, he can keep him for a long time. Okay, 3 roaches is the number. Coming in. Immediately going to the main base. Okay, yeah. That's kind of more what I'd expect from a typical game. Oh, you stopped the SCV? Oh my god, Robbie. Oh, Rob. And we're hiding in the main. Or the net. The biggest weakness is the lack of queens, right? Definitely. You're just holding out until the mutas come. You don't really have a great answer versus these aliens. I mean, you could go roaches, but you're cutting so much. And then we just get sick damage. So, immediately, if I grow old, get dementia, and play like this, kill me. You're not gonna grow old, you're gonna fucking die in a couple years. The brain tumor will get you before you grow old. Okay, so immediately, the first thing I notice is like, you don't need to get burrow this quickly. You could actually go double queen. There's a couple things you could do. You could double queen, double inject, then double tumor. That's like the old way of doing it. Or you could just double queen and go inject tumor. The burrow does not need to be this early. I'm almost certain. Yeah, you would have had burrow. So let's say this is a queen. Well, let's just go off the queen you actually made. Burrow starts 238, takes 71 seconds. So that's like what? 349. Damn, we could have got 2 queens way earlier. And also we would have had at least 1 tumor, maybe even 2 tumors, which would have given you so much space, which you desperately need having only 2 queens all game. You need to get those tumors out. Yeah. You might have trouble on maps like Submarine where the rush distance is so fast, but like just play a little defensively in like moments like this, just for your burrow to finish, and you'll be fine. My budget's already tight. You're not gonna have it's no worries. Like You're using the same money just in a different order. You gotta understand, you're doing the same thing but in the wrong order, in my mind at least, because you're spending 2 queens and burrow all at the same time. It's just the burrow is third in line instead of second, because you're going like queen burrow queen, but you can go queen queen burrow. You're spending all the same money. There's no issue on money. Trust me. That is not a problem. You don't need to cut anything. So, but moving forward, besides that, I mean, I guess this really depends on how in you are all in on the spire idea. But I do think just ever so slightly pulling back, because I think what's happening right now is you're probably winning a lot with just the mutas. That's what happened in these 2 games. You won pretty much instantly with the mutas, which is great, but I think you're going to hit a point where people are just wising up for whatever reason they're getting a spire. You know, this is basically like a more sophisticated railgun strat, right? But eventually it's just not going to hit the same anymore, and maybe you don't take this advice now, but you take it when it stops working. But what I would say is a couple things. I would say use these lings for like burrowing thirds and stuff, because you're going to need shit like that to help you in the future when you're actually playing macro games. But also, instead of getting 3 gases at 330 and a 3 sharp layer, maybe dial it back a little bit, get a 3rd queen at the least, and then maybe a couple roaches to deal with the hellions. So there's a couple things. So when you go roaches, typically you will usually, unless it's like air focused, you will dial back on queens. So if I was going like a ling bling, I might want 6 minimum. With roaches, you'd go like 5 minimum. And that's because the roaches themselves are acting as a deterrent versus the hellions, and then your queens will just deal with whatever air. And then if you were worried about banshees, you might get some extra, but versus BCs, you'd certainly get extra. But regardless, that's like very standard by the book 3 base play. This is 2 base stuff. So instead of me saying like get 4 or 5 queens, I'm saying maybe just get 1 queen and get like 3 roaches and utilize that burrow to the fullest. And I like the 3rd timing a lot for what the build is. But in my opinion, for this to scale, I think the reversing the layer timing and the 3rd timing would be really, really good. Whereas right now, this is kind of a trick, right? And sometimes it's just supposed to be a trick, and that's fine. But eventually, it's going to stop working. And I would definitely suggest making the 3rd around now, or around when this layer started, dialing back the gases, and then when you were taking the 3rd, like here, then you take the layer of your own. So with that, you can you can still creep because you'll have 1 or 2 tumors, and you'll have the queen pooping out. And then from there, we can do a couple things. You can do another roach timing maybe, as long as he's not going BC Banshee, or you could just chill. Like it'd be more of like a killing depots timing at that point, or you could just chill and then do your switch off of like a 2.5 base saturation thing. That's what I would suggest if you want this build to keep going. Like to a much higher level. I'm sure this is really good right now. This is very future. Want to see the build versus the 3rd build? It depends, I guess. What's the 3rd build? Well, let me read what you've been saying. I haven't been looking. If I see timing, I skip Muta and go drones for Ling Bane. Yeah, but your Bane speed just seems like late anyways, right? I guess maybe your Bane speed isn't terribly late. I don't know. I guess it depends how you're scouting it. I feel like you'd have a lot of trouble defending with Ling Bane. I think you should probably lean on your Roach Warren more. After Lamo finally released his 5 Roach build, Railgun's 3 Roach opener deleted. I mean, Railgun's 3 Roach opener was fucking shit anyways. I'll say it. Dude, you know what I don't like about Railgun's fucking 3 Roach opener? Is that everyone just calls every gas pool hatch opener with roaches the Railgun build. That's the thing, that's the side effect I don't like about that build. I've dabbled with the version you're suggesting. They go BC, I usually get 3-4 queens and use burrow with queens. Third slash layer swap sounds nice. Feel like shares the fastest slash most possible muta behind the 3 roaches. I've been exploring a lot of variations. Yeah. This is definitely the quickest for sure. Not late if I skip it because I time the Bane to finish when Lair does. Yeah, like you have the potential to have a really fast Bane nest speed timing or just speed, but I'm not sure exactly what you'd be reacting to. I guess like if it's 2-on-1, you'd have Banes, but you wouldn't even want Banes versus 2-on-1s. You just want queens, which I guess kind of leads me to my final verdict, I guess you'd call it, is I think you should actually respect roaches more than you have. You kind of just go into, I mean, I guess you just didn't really show in this game because you just went with the mutas, but actually maybe it is kind of a good example because you use the Evos so much. Like, if you just, I mean, you can't really do it this game because of the way the layer is in the third and whatnot, but if you, for example, if you did the third slash layer swap, and then squeezed in a 3rd queen in that timing and you're getting creep and stuff like that, you know, you can push the Hellions away with a couple roaches, and then say it is a 2-on-1 and you don't really get those roaches for the Hellions. You can totally drone up a little bit more, and then instead of getting lings and queens, you can get like 8 roaches and you'd be fine, completely fine versus 2-on-1. And you could still get that Spire going behind it. Of course it won't be as fast, but it would be in time for, you know, the 3rd, 4th medevac timing off of 2-on-1, and we're still doing the switch up cross ups. But more importantly, we're doing it in a way that you have economy, that you have a potential to grow. Because, you know, I rag on railgun builds and shit all the time because it's so low economy, like pull first into 2 base muta and all that stuff, and you know, it's really good, it's really tricky, but you just, as a player, you mechanically, your benchmarks can only be so good off 2 base, and that's why at the highest levels you see people taking the quickest 3rds and the quickest 4ths and stuff, and it's kind of because it's all snowballing, like going hatch first allows you to get a quicker 3rd, that allows you to get a quicker 4th, but also just because they're looking for that potential and using as much larva as they're physically able to have in their hands. So personally for me, I just feel like it's a really important thing to keep in mind when you're doing these builds, because you're at a tug of war between like, how many drones am I able to get, how much tech am I able to get, and how much aggression I'm supposed to be able to get. You know, like say, for that category, that'd be like lings, roaches, banes attacking you. You know, the more roaches you make, the less drones you have, the less tech you have. And you can get roaches and tech, or like ling, bane and tech, but your drones will suffer. And you might put yourself in a situation where you'll have mutas, but you're actually kind of all in. This is a really interesting part, trying to figure out your own build.